Is chemo and diabetes making me go blind? Don't be ridiculous. Why are all the opticians Scottish? Eh? Should I rage against the dying of the light? No, rage is my job. And what have contour pillows got to do with it? What? What? Come with me through the curtain of blurred colons and find out what's going on in my cancer chemo story. Welcome to the Tumotastic Video Diary number 42. Hi, Skatz here. I know who you are. It's Friday, October the 4th, and welcome to Video Diary number 42 on Still Alive, where we don't like to die before we die, right? Not good for you. Don't let your brain turn to porridge. I do not understand where this obsession with porridge is coming from. So I'm really looking forward to Monday because, as you know, that's when I meet my surgeon and get the results from the scan to find out how big Freddy is. There's nothing wrong with me. Leave me alone. And he'll also tell me the plan for the operation. Snip, snip. So that's all wonderful and groovy. Not for me, it's not. But this week, a lot of my focus has been on my eyes. Should have gone to Specsavers, mate. Because I went to Specsavers. Bloody hell, I must have second sight. And I had an eye test. The results were very eye-opening. Give that man 30 lashes for that pun. Aye, aye, Captain. So, what happened? Well, for a start, I found out that most of the staff seemed to be Scottish. That was a surprise. The first person I spoke to at the desk was a young lad with a broad Scottish accent, so I asked him where in Scotland was he from, and he said, I'm not, I've never been there. So I said, why have you got the accent then? And he said, my dad's from Scotland. I said, whereabouts? And he said, Stirling. So I said, oh, that's nice. I think my brother used to live near there. I think it was Bridge of Allen. He said, I don't know. I said, it's got something to do with William Wallace. There's a statue there. He said, no, that's Edinburgh. I said, no, my brother didn't live in Edinburgh. He said, I'm not very good with Scottish geography. I've never been there. I said, oh. He said, let me take your details, and asked me whether I had a job or a hobby that involved screens. And I said, yes, very much so. I look at them a lot. I'm looking at one now. I didn't say that to him. I mean, I'm looking at one now while I'm telling you about it. Oi, I can't get a bleeding word in edgeways right now. He took me into a little room and did some tests, and I said, oh, that was quick. He said those were just the pre-tests. Then he led me to the front of the shop where the waiting area was and said, sit there, the optician will be with you soon. And while I was waiting, a very, very small Dutch lady wobbled in with a bike helmet on. She was a bit clumsy and jittery, and I thought I wouldn't like to be anywhere near her when she's riding a bike, and besides, she looked about 94. Well, anyway, she waved to the Scottish lad and said something about fixing her glasses. She pulled at them, but they were stuck inside her helmet, so she had to remove that. Then the glasses shot off, but she caught them and fiddled about with them and the helmet until she worked out how to hand one of them to Hamish. Well, his name wasn't Hamish, but I can't just call him Scottish lad every time, can I? You could have asked his name. Anyway, she just wanted them adjusting because they were too wide or her head was too small, which it was. Then one of the opticians came out of another room and picked up my file and called my name, so I followed her into a room with lots of eye machines. I said, hello. She said, hello. I said, oh, you're Scottish too. She said, aye, I am. I said, are you all Scottish here? She said, not everyone, but there's me and the two brothers. I said, I've met one of them, and she gave me the family history. He only ever spoke English to his dad and grandparents. That's why he's got a broad accent, but he was born in Spain. So when he speaks Spanish, he sounds like a native. I said, oh. And she asked me about my vision. I said, well, I'd like to form a band. She said, no, your eyes. I said, oops, that's my cancer brain. She said, oh, I had that as well. I said, did it affect your eyesight? Because that's what I think is happening. She said, no, it's your age, love. Shuffle forward and put your chin on here. You'll feel a little puff in your eyes. I had a bit of a giggle. This is not the 1970s. She made me look at some circles with dots in and asked which ones were clearer and then moved them around, and I had to read all the letters in rows as well. That's normal optician stuff, isn't it? And she took a picture of the back of my eyes, which is where your eyes take pictures of what you're looking at, and I thought, oh, that's nice. And eventually she said, you've actually got very good eyes when they're corrected. you're going to need varifocals so you can see clearly up close and when you're on your computer and when you're looking further away. She said you'll need them for driving. I said, OK, will they make it easier to see the maps on my phone on the dashboard then? She said, yes. I said, oh, that's nice. I'm always putting on my old glasses so I can see it, but I have to put them halfway down like a secretary so I can see the road as well over the top. She said, you won't have to do that anymore. Would you like to choose some frames? I said, yes. And I'd like one of my 2-for-1 to be sunglasses. I wear them on the stage, you see, and I need to be able to read my iPad and look like a rock star at the same time. She said, oh, you're a singer. I said, yes, and I play the guitar. I've just been to the music shop to pretend I can afford one. She said, follow me.
Kill me now.
She said, this is, what's her name? She'll help you choose some frames. So I said, I want some colourful round ones, but most of them were for kids and they made me look like Marty Feldman with my eyes going off in different directions. She said, oh no, that won't do at all. She wasn't Scottish though, she was English. She had tattoos. I said, oh, that's nice. What do they say? She said, memento mori. It's Latin. I said, I know, I did it at school. Mind you, that was a long time ago. I said, what does it mean? She said, it's like carpe diem. I said, oh, Robin Williams. She said, yes, seize the day. I said, well, it's better than YOLO. She said, I know. I've got a big butterfly on my back. She turned round and I could see it through her shirt. She said, look at these green frames. I said, I can't have green because of my green screen. They'd go all see-through. So we looked at loads more and narrowed it down to 2 pairs. One was of Vivienne Westwood, very bold, thick black ones. She said they'd make a statement. I said, I like making statements, but not to the police. She said, no, try these ones. They were a tortoise shell. I said, these make me look cleverer. She said, we don't do miracles.
She got you.
I called Liz and sent her photos of me with the frames on just to make sure I'd made the right choice. She liked both pairs, but we agreed the tortoise shell were probably cleverer, so that was that.
Have I said punched yet?
Choosing the sunglasses frames was easy. I went for the Blues Brothers look. I don't think she'd heard of them, so I said Ray-Bans. She said, we don't do them, but we've got these. She said, follow me, I'll price you up. And we sat down and talked options. She said, the optician told you about these anti-glares. They'll help you a lot when you're looking at screens all the time. I said, yes, I'll have them. She said, right, and added it all up. It'll be €458, she said. I said, it's just as well I didn't buy a guitar. Do you take card? She said, yes. So I got my phone out, because I'm all 21st century these days. She said, do you want a receipt? I said, yes. I don't think I'll be able to put it on expenses. I'm not Keir Starmer. I don't think she got it.
I don't think anybody gets it.
You know, I think it's ironic my job is the thing making my eyesight worse and not the chemotherapy. It's talking to you a lot that's doing it. Oh, well. We're all having fun, and I'll continue to rage against the dying of the light until I lay my head down at last.
Do it now! Do it now!
Speaking of laying my head down, I saw an advert for contour pillows. You know, the ones where there's a dip in the middle of the pillow, so when you lie on your side and put your head in the dip, you're at the right angle. Now, I always lie on my side, so I've looked at these contour things before, but I just realised, if the bit in the pillow with the dip in it is the right width to keep your spine and head at the right angle, why not just make the whole pillow that thickness? What's the point of the bits that are too thick? They make absolutely no sense and serve no useful purpose at all, do they? What do you think?
I think you should put one over your face.
La! On that note, that's all for this week. But next week I'll be back and I'm sure I'll have plenty more to talk about. Thank you so much for continuing to follow my story and sharing your own experiences and sending those lovely messages of support and also donating to the cause. That'll be lovely because I don't think I'm going to be working until next year. Doing the gigs, that is. Anyway, I'll still carry on doing all this stuff. Tune in next Friday anyway for another thrilling episode of
Pillow Fight.
Keep your fingers and toes crossed, you lovely people, and as always, raise your drinking receptacles with me. The toast is still alive.
Sometimes I wish I'd never been born.
Let's do the still alive dance.
When will it ever end?